I'm Mr. Ahuja. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, good. Nice to meet you too.
Let's start. In industries where precision isn't optional and mistakes carry real consequences, leadership is tested not just by skill, but by composure. Today, we're exploring what it takes to lead with clarity under pressure, balance legacy with innovation, and stay mentally grounded when the stakes are high. Our guest is Mr. Vikas Ahuja from Vishal Surgical Equipment, an organization operating in a field where urgency is constant and decisions matter deeply. With years of experience navigating logistical complexity, high pressure negotiations, and generational leadership, he brings a perspective that goes beyond strategy and into mindset. In this conversation, we'll talk about managing anxiety in zero margin for error environments, staying calm during crisis, mentoring the next generation, and building mental habits that protect both professional performance and personal well being. Mr. Huja, thank you for joining us today. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you. It's always a pleasure talking to you.
Yeah. To start us off, could you briefly tell us about your journey with Vishal Surgical Equipment and what your role looks like today?
Yeah, hi. So Vishal Surgical is a company involved in the distribution and marketing of uh, medical devices in India. And we have been in this business, our company has been in the business for the last almost 6 decades. And I personally have been involved with the company for the last 3 decades. That's for the last 30 years. And yes, there has been, my roles have been changing over the period of time as the environment of business and healthcare has been growing substantially. And today it's more of my role has changed substantially from just being a running salesman and marketing person to creating organizational setups and having the continuance of the legacy and the business that we are there in the healthcare industry. Keeping the compliances and taking in care of the compliances and bringing in new technology. That's also very, very important in the healthcare industry. So I've been very keenly involved with that particular step at the moment.
Yep, that's good.
Good.
Thank you so much. And starting with the first question now. So, operating in the surgical industry means there is zero room for error. So, Mr. Ahuja, how do you keep that pressure from turning into chronic anxiety?
Okay. I think pressure is always a part of our system. That's how, but how you take it. Anxiety comes when things really get out of control. And I think we need to prepare ourselves, be focused, have a clear cut systems and organization. And that's when you can avoid these kind of pressures. So having perfect processes and systems, I think that helps us in keeping the anxiety away. So I think being organized and uh, having a system perfectly is what you need to be prepared yourself. Having clear communications with your team really helps you out. I think that's what I could say about.
Hmm. Yep, that's a great answer, Mr. Ahuja.
Yeah.
And as you said, Vishal Surgical has been in the business for 6 decades. That means it has a long legacy. So tell me, how does mental equilibrium help you balance honoring tradition with embracing disruption?
uh, I think legacy gives us some values, and we need to live up with the values. People look up to your company as a highly valued company, and there is. And coming back to your point of disruptions, I think disruptions also gives us some growth. So I think keeping a mental balance is very, very important, and we have to be staying open to innovation. So that's what you're talking about, disruptions and new technologies. As I already briefed you earlier in the previous question, I think it clearly says that we are looking forward to new innovations and looking into the new areas. So we have to keep the tradition in focus and our legacy, and taking that into consideration, I think we are embracing disruptions. There is a lot of changes happening in the markets, especially in the healthcare. A lot of new technologies coming up. So we really embrace the take in those new technologies and implement it into our products and companies that we deal with.
Yeah, sounds good, Mr. Ahuja.
And it also involves a lot of disruption. Does not mean just product disruptions. There's a lot of new compliance networks, compliance frameworks in the healthcare industry with the government coming up with new compliances, which of course these compliances helps in improving the standards of healthcare. And we really embrace those situations also, and take over those things also.
Great answer, Mr. Ahuja. Now, moving on to the next question. Now, suppose your phone is ringing. How do you distinguish between urgent and important when you're dealing with multiple logistical crises?
uh, there we need to understand what is the difference between urgent and important. Urgent is sometimes a noise, but important is creating an impact in the market. You need to, is this going to really create an impact in our working? Does We need to assess quickly whether this particular this particular work, is it going to affect the patient care ultimately. So we need to analyze what is urgent and what is this thing. We need to see whether it's a financial it's going to have any financial consequences or anything. So we need to take a balance of what is really urgent and what is important. For example, whether it really affects the patient outcome. If there is something which is we are in the healthcare industry, there is always a patient involved over there. So we need to take that would be really taken care of, and bifurcated accordingly, and we would do that. So anything which is going to be a really patient specific or something that we need to prioritize that, and that's how we would analyze it. uh, and also that's a very important thing. So patient focus, patient outcome is very, very important for us. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great answer and really insightful, Mr. Ahuja. Now, moving on a little bit into the financial side of the thing, can you describe a high pressure deal where staying calm directly changed the financial outcome?
Yeah, it does happen. There are situations which happen. For example, there are some very large tenders and large negotiations that come up. And when you get really emotional, you try to win the deal at any cost. I think that's what we try to avoid, because getting into the emotional cycle, you really get into a bad negotiation. And a bad negotiation could mean that, see, negotiation, really need to be a win-win situation, and it's not a one term, it's a long term. Say supplying a medical device, you need to be able to provide services to the customer on a long term basis. It is not just selling and forgetting. So we need to really evaluate the whole deal in its outcome. So we need to be very, very focused and calm, and have a clarified value. We need to really clarify to the customer what we are really here for, and we should be calm and focused, and that's what can help you get a higher margin. And very, very important is the long term relationship. Just being an aggressive sales in the healthcare industry cannot just we cannot just sell and just forget it. So we need to really be patient, calm, and staying calm is very, very important. And ultimately that helps you to get a financial outcome also, because just selling the product on an emotional basis. As sometimes we have seen a lot of competitors that just get panicked. We have been always we stay firm, and at the same time, not only being firm should not make the customer feel that we are being very aggressive, very uh, very snotty or very high priced value products. We need to clarify them what the value is, why the structure that we are providing is very good, and ultimately it should be a win-win financial outcome for us and the customer. So that's what I could say is being calm in a financial outcome is very, very important. For getting good financial outcome is very, very important.
Right. So, a lesson to all the viewers, please remain in control of your emotions. Yep. Now, on to the next question. For the next generation, when you try to mentor them, what is the first thing you teach them about managing their temperament?
I think you should never take being the urgent situation in our business should not be taken personally. Don't get really emotional about the urgency thing. Pressure is only a situational thing, and you should not get emotional about it. So don't get emotionally involved with your pressure, because sometimes the business that you are, you may feel that you are into a pressure situation. No, don't take that as emotional. That's part of our business, and make things which are important. Understand that, and when you're composed and when you're clear, I think you can take over any crisis or anything very comfortably. So always think and be calm, and because ultimately being in any, I would not would say healthcare or any industry that you are being reliable, you should feel reliable. You should earn the trust of the customer. Once you are composed and don't get emotionally involved, you can win the trust of your customer also, and that's very, very important. So never take urgency or anything personally in the healthcare industry, and be calm and yeah, good. That's what I would say. That's the thing for the next generation, I would say.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Moving on. What is the one mental habit you developed that prevents professional stress from leaking into your personal life?
That's a tough one, but I would say that as far as possible, try to create a system when you keep your business to your business and stay focused when you come back home, and try to not mix up your office work with the personal life, and that takes care of your both your health and family. I think it takes care of your business and your personal life, and try to avoid bringing back the stress back home, or the any kind of work focused work that you have. So leave that at your office as far as possible. And when you separate this, your professional and personal life, I think you would be having a better and a more stressless life. So that, I think that's very, very important.
The good answer, Mr. Ahuja. Now, let's move
So
on to our final
yeah.
question. It's a short one, it's a fun one. In one word, how would you
Mhm.
describe your mind during a crisis?
Uh, I would say being composed. I think that's you need to be steady and composed is what I would say uh, as a word during my crisis. That's the one word.
Yeah. Compose it is. We'll take it.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's a powerful note to end on. If there's one thing we learned today, it's that calm isn't passive. It's a skill that's built, practiced, and passed on. Mr. Ahuja, thank you so much for your time and for the perspective you shared with us.
Thank you very much, Jay, and wishing you all the very best.
Thank you. Thank you so much.